Hello and welcome to the Girl That Went For It podcast. I'm your host, Johanna Scholz, also known as Johanna Lian on Instagram, and author of Believe in Life, How to Dance in the Rain. If you want to live your dream life and become the best version of yourself, then this podcast is for you. I hope that I can inspire and encourage you to never give up and to always believe in yourself. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, Johanna_Liana, for daily content. And now enjoy this episode. So in this episode, I want to share a story of mine where I felt really lost and felt like I don't belong here and felt depressed, and I want to share what helped me to work through that. And I hope this episode can help you. And I want you to remember that it's okay to feel lost. So let me tell you a story. Some of you might know that I've been to New Zealand after high school, so that was 2014-2015, and when I came back from New Zealand 2015, I felt into a deep hole. I felt lost, I felt depressed, I just didn't feel like myself, and all I wanted to do is to go back to New Zealand, but I couldn't. There were a few reasons why I couldn't, and also a few reasons why I came back to there was one main reason why I came back from New Zealand, but I will keep that for another episode. Anyway, in New Zealand, I felt like everything made sense, and I felt so much like myself, and I know that a lot of you guys or my followers feel the same way about that after traveling somewhere like New Zealand, Australia, or wherever you're traveling. And of course, you travel to a different country and you're so free. You can decide what to do, when to do, like you decide where to go next, especially when you're traveling around different things. I think if you work somewhere for a long time. But yeah, I just felt so free, and I'm so grateful I made this experience. And the funny thing was that I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea about New Zealand when I came to New Zealand. I didn't even know the cities. But I always say it's the best thing if you don't have any expectations, because then you can just go with the flow and get surprised. And I was so surprised. It was the best thing I've ever done. But anyway, there I was back in Germany. And I felt like I was at the wrong place. Not because, not my family, I love my family and I'm such a family person and I love my friends, but it felt like a part of my soul stayed in New Zealand, or a part of me stayed in New Zealand. And I remember the feeling I had when I was in the plane back to Germany. I felt like my heart was breaking, because all I wanted to do was to go back, but I knew I won't be back anytime soon, because of the things that happened at home, and also I ran out of money, so I had to save first. And also the other thing was I used my working holiday visa, so it was quite hard to go back for me back then. Anyway, there was 2015, felt like shit, just to be honest. And I remember it must have been around 2017, and the reason I know it was about 2017 was because I uploaded a YouTube video in 2017 about this topic. But anyway, I remember in 2017 I was in my bedroom crying, and I was felt like I was at the wrong place. I felt lost. I felt like something was wrong with me. I felt like I didn't really enjoy anything. And I remember my dad coming in, and I remember telling him that I feel so lost, and I feel like, I was wondering, why do I feel like this? And a part of me knew why, but I was just like, I don't know. I just, for the first time, let someone know how I really felt. Back then on Instagram, I shared how much I loved New Zealand, but I never really shared how I felt about being back in Germany and how lost I felt. So, that was then when I talked to my dad about it and told him how I felt. I remember he said that it's okay, and it's okay to feel this way, and we've all been there, and we'll find a solution. we can work through this. And I was just so happy that I finally told someone how I felt. And looking back now, I'm just so amazed how I never told someone how I really felt from 2015 to 2017. Like, how my heart was broken because all I wanted to do was going back. And I've learned so much, and you guys know that I'm really into self-care, self-improvement. And I think my journey started when I was in New Zealand about this whole process, or about this whole topic like self-love, self-care, self-growth, following your dream. And then from 2017 onwards, I really started to work through what was going on inside me and work through this feeling of feeling lost. And I always been a journaler, is that how you say it? Like, I always loved journaling, and you guys know I love journaling. And I remember writing all my thoughts down. I remember even from 2015 to 2017, I had written heaps of things down, how I felt. But after I told my dad, and also after I uploaded the YouTube video, which, by the way, has now 18,000 views. I've never expected that. Like, I only have 2,000 followers on YouTube, and I'm not a big YouTuber, but I was surprised how many views I got. Still get comments, still get views on that one, because people feel the same way, and it just made me feel less alone. So if you're listening to this and you feel that way, I want you to know that you're not alone. Yeah, so I worked through this, and I want to share with you tips that helped me to get through this. Back then was the time when I finally talked about it and shared my feelings, where I really started to do some self-work, and I started reading more books about living your best life or attracting good things into your life. And one of the first books I read was Law of Attraction, and I totally recommend this book. I highly recommend it. And there's also, I think, a Netflix or YouTube video about it, the Law of Attraction. And I started manifesting, I started visualizing. I did my first vision board. You can look at my YouTube channel. I think back then 2017 or 18, it must have been 2017, I uploaded my first vision board. And I started manifesting it. So I started really feeling how I'm gonna feel, how I want to feel. And I started manifesting this dream of going back to New Zealand. I knew back then I won't be able to go until I finished my studies, but it kind of gave me hope that after that I'll be able to go back to New Zealand. And every day I saw my vision board, I got reminded of what my goal is, and it really kept me motivated, and it made me like just feel so good, because deep down I knew and I felt that I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go back to New Zealand, and I'm gonna be where I'm supposed to be. But right now I am where I'm supposed to be. That's something I've learned as well. So what I did, because I knew I won't be going back anytime soon, I started making plans to look forward to, because I knew New Zealand was still so far away, and I knew and learned that life is so fragile and life happens now. So I can't live for the future. I have to live now. So I made plans of little trips. I did a Europe trip back then, and I made like fun trips, like weekend trips with my family or with friends. So I listed things I love doing, and I made them happen, and that motivated me to keep going, and that gave me so much joy. So what I can highly recommend is to make a list with all the things that make you feel good, all the things that bring you joy, and start doing them more. And don't live for the future. Your life is now. Another tip is to tell your person how you feel, whether it's your best friend, it's your mom, your dad, your grandma. Tell someone about how you feel. You will feel so much better. If you don't feel like telling your inner circle, there are heaps of professionals out there that you can have a session with, a meeting with, and please don't be shy to ask for help. I also recommend listening to motivational speeches or podcasts, watch YouTube videos that motivate you, everything that makes you feel good. Try to do that, because if you do things that make you feel good, you will feel better. Make plans with friends, something to look forward to. Create a vision board. I am an absolute fan of vision boards, or create like a template that you can use as your background on your phone, something that makes you feel good and excited. Write down what makes life beautiful to you. What do you like doing? Make a whole list, and then whenever you feel down, look at the list and do something from the list. For example, I love going out for coffee, or having a coffee to go and be outside. So when I feel low, I either go to a cafe, grab a coffee with a friend, not with a coffee, grab a coffee with a friend, or make myself a to-go coffee from home and go for a walk, just something that makes me feel better. And last but not least, I again want you to know that you are not alone. And once you start talking about how you feel, you will realize that a lot of people felt the same way or feel the same way. And that's when I uploaded my YouTube video. I was like so surprised, and it made me feel better knowing that I'm not alone. That was my episode for today. I hope I could help you. I hope you feel less alone now, and I'd love your support. Feel free to share this in your story and message me on Instagram. I'd love to connect. And yeah, stay kind, stay safe, and stay healthy. See ya!